One. Well, good afternoon. This is Chris and Adam from Tangible Solutions, pulling together some podcasting to try to get out the word about what we're doing, what we're seeing in the industry. We've got a lot of questions that come in, and really Chris and I find ourselves talking late at night about what's happening in the industry, what are we hearing, and it's really just a little bit of a chit chat, if you will, shop talk, and what's going on in the industry. And I kind of start us off a little bit, but I think the biggest thing we've seen is a lot of foot and ankle products coming through here, and that industry really seems to be falling behind spine, and kind of following some of the 510K pathways that they had that spine had put in, and now we're starting to see a lot of that activity from foot and ankle. So I think that's very interesting and telling of where the technology can go. But one of the things that, Chris, you deal a lot with customers day to day, a lot of the project engineers, the technical aspects of what we do here at Tangible. And off the top of your head, what are a couple things that you find common between, I guess, questions or maybe what customers are looking for when they come to Tangible?
I think the biggest question from engineers, at least, has to do with what we call model-based definition and generating complex structures, which we have a relatively easy time helping them with, as far as generating and meshing very complex structures and trying to maintain file size, keep it down, is another challenge that people are facing. They're finding that when they're doing 40 different sizes, 40 configurations of a product, that if you have a 1 gig STL, then now you have 40 gigs of data that you need to put somewhere.
Right.
And that's just one product.
Right.
So,
is in topology, how's that helping? Is that helping at all? Does that address that?
Oh yeah. So they're the best that I've seen as far as lattice generation goes. File size, keeping file sizes down, meshing abilities, just kind of really intelligent implementation from a completely different sector. So it's math driven instead of, like they call it BREP or parametric modeling, like we're used to seeing in like SolidWorks or EdgeCam or Creo or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
So that we're used to seeing like you define a sketch and then extrude it into a third dimension or sweep it across a path and define that way. Whereas in topology kind of takes the reverse approach where they're using math in a giant field or imaginary field and then constricting that to a volume. So it starts big and goes little, where instead of the reverse, where we're defining the block first and then making cuts and shaping it differently.
And how much is Matt Schomper just bugging out all of this?
I go look at his LinkedIn. And you will be able to tell.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know Matt is our director of engineering. He spent time on the OEM side and he joined it, like 2 years ago, something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe 3 years ago. But he is extremely smart individual. He's got some great posts out there, so definitely check him out on LinkedIn. But I guess also, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's one thing customers don't know about you personally? You're willing to share.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
My wedding rings are 3D printed.
Nice.
So there you go.
Yep.
Nice trabecular structure. It's a little beat up, but I also designed and printed my wife's ring, which she is very proud of.
Nice.
Put a lot of handwork into them too, just to make everything just right. And ended up fitting well, which was a complete surprise.
Yeah, and none of us knew either at Tangible. Chris told nobody.
Yeah, I didn't even tell my parents.
He came in and I don't even think we noticed you were wearing a ring.
You did, but you were the first one. You were like, what? And I was like, oh yeah.
What, you didn't tell me?
Got married. Yeah. My parents did the same thing.
And how'd you guys get married?
On the side of a mountain in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it.
Yep, so. By ourselves, just us and the official, and that was it.
Yeah, that's sweet. So awesome. Well, we, in the spirit of keeping things short, just doing little tidbits here. Love your feedback. This is only going out to a small group of orthopedic professionals that Chris and I personally know or have acquaintance through either, someone that we've talked to in the past. Maybe we don't work with you today, but you're probably on this list. Customers obviously are on this list. Some of our vendors, key vendors, are on this list as well. So, looking for feedback. If there's questions out there about additive and maybe you guys have been talking internally, reach out. I'd love to have that conversation, maybe pull that into the podcast. And we may reach out to some of you to be a part of the podcast. Really, we'd like to use this as a platform for others in the orthopedic industry to become more knowledgeable about additive manufacturing and what can be done, and setting the right standard, if you will. So, anything to add?
No,
Awesome.
That was great. I was just noticing you can see the M2 in the background there of your video, which is pretty sweet. See it operating over there.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Well, hello everybody. I hope you're keeping your hands washed. We're going to go do the same right after this. But we look forward to hearing your feedback, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again for giving this a quick watch.